Service for the Austin police officer who was killed in the line of duty. See how the city will be honoring him.
Some childcare facilities will receive a big tax relief. We'll tell you what this means.
The Central Texas Food Bank is looking for volunteers and donations. Find out ways you can help this holiday season.
Reporting Texas TV starts now.
Good evening, I'm Annabella Cooper.
And I'm Paulina Pearson.
A memorial service will take place tomorrow morning to remember APD officer Jorge Pastor, who was shot and killed in South Austin on Saturday. APD responded to a stabbing at the 9300 block of Bernoulli Drive. SWAT members, including Pastor, were called to the scene after the suspect opened fire. The incident resulted in multiple casualties and injured another SWAT member. Thousands gathered at City Hall on Sunday to honor Pastor. His services start at 11 tomorrow at the Circuit of Americas.
I'd also like to highlight the incredible bravery displayed by our officers day in and day out. I could not be more proud of their heroic actions.
Officer Pastor began his career with APD in 2019 and served in the Honor Guard, SWAT Gold Team, Counter Assault Strike Team, and Special Response Team. He is survived by his wife, 2 stepchildren, and 2 sisters. Pastor was 38 years old.
Thousands of Texans rallied at the state capitol on Sunday to support Palestine. Protesters say Israel is committing a genocide of Palestinians in Gaza. So far, more than 10,000 Palestinians have been killed. Israel reports their death toll is around 1,000. Demonstrators say they want a ceasefire in Gaza and the U.S. to end aid to Israel. During the election last week, 2 voters passed Proposition 2.
This proposition exempts some child care facilities from paying property tax.
Mariela Viella is live in the newsroom with the story.
Some childcare facilities in Texas are struggling to maintain doors open, leading to childcare deserts. By not paying property tax, facilities are able to use the money elsewhere. I spoke with Senator Royce West about how Proposition 2 might help.
Spanish immersion daycare Escuelita El Alma is filled with kids, so much they have a wait list. The co-director hopes changes in the law may help open more and much needed daycare centers.
We are very excited that it did pass because there are many centers that are going to continue to receive that supplemental funding.
Right now, some childcare facilities are struggling to stay open because of a lack of workers.
Early childhood educators and childcare programs here in Texas earn on average $12 an hour with little to no benefits.
Texas Senator Royce West says the passing of Proposition 2 could help, but it's up to local government to decide if they'll grant property tax relief.
It's going to take the advocacy of child care groups working with their local elected officials and making certain that they get the benefit of this constitutional amendment.
Last Thursday, the Austin City Council became the first city in Texas to provide a 100% tax break to eligible childcare facilities starting in 2024.
To qualify as exempt, the facility has to be part of the Texas Rising Star program, and 20% of students must receive subsidies or scholarships through the Texas Workforce Commission. For parents like Leah Rodriguez, she hopes more childcare options come to Austin. She was left scrambling to find a daycare when her current one closed.
They gave us 6 months notice, but it wasn't enough. Unfortunately, the wait lists in Austin are so long.
Proposition 2 goes into effect in January.
Home-based childcare providers do not qualify under Proposition 2, but Austin City Council member Allison Alter says they will look for a way to offer relief for them. Live in the newsroom, Mariela Viella reporting Texas TV.
Sponsored resources for LGBTQ students will cease to exist after a new law was passed. Senate Bill 17 requires diversity, equity, and inclusion offices at public universities in Texas to disband by 2024. UT currently facilitates the Gender and Sexuality Center for Women and LGBTQ students, which would need to shut down in accordance with this law. The bill still allows for student groups, which is where resources will now likely stem from.
Starbucks employees in West Campus stood outside their store early this morning chanting, "No contract, no coffee." They chose today because it is Red Cup Day. This happens every year where Starbucks hands out free, red-colored, reusable cups with any purchase. The coffee shop experiences a 94% jump in customers despite staff shortages. On a busy event like today, many orders fall on just a few baristas. Students were able to receive refunds on mobile orders and avoided studying on the patio.
If you're a student living in West Campus without a window, you're not alone. This was just one of the issues raised at a UT Student Government's final roundtable on November 13th. Students were able to voice their housing concerns to student government and City Council member Zoe Caudry. Many say they are worried about the rising cost of student living. An advocacy group has been created for students to take their housing problems to City Council.
The Student Housing Advocacy Coalition will be an official resource for students to come to when they need advocacy and a unified voice for any student housing concerns that they have. No longer will they have to independently reach out in a vulnerable state and oftentimes get turned down by these larger forces.
Student concerns on windowless rooms is already being addressed. Councilmember Caudry passed a bill that stops student housing from being built without windows. The Texas Book Fest had a new focus this year. See how the importance of diversity in books was highlighted.
Don't put away your sweaters quite yet. You might want to keep them out for the Thanksgiving holiday. Jasmine Palacios will give you the rundown.
You make tons of choices every day. Things like what to wear, what to eat, or what music to listen to. But this choice is the easiest, and it can make a big difference in your family's health. It's choosing water over sugary drinks. Drinking lots of sugary drinks can lead to serious health issues like obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cavities. Choose water. It's your health, your choice. Choose what's best for you and your family.
From Laredo to Austin and Waco to Gainesville and everywhere in between, I-35 keeps Texas connected. It takes a lot to keep it moving, keep it safe for everyone who drives on it and everyone who works on it. So when you're driving by work zones, move over or slow down, because while they protect workers, it's up to you to keep them safe. Visit my35.org for real-time conditions and information on I-35. Be safe, drive smart.
In Texas, it's illegal to pick bluebonnets, right? Wrong. This is merely a rumor concerning our beloved official state flower. While there's no law that forbids you from picking these flowers, it might be illegal or unsafe in some situations. First, be courteous and take care of the flowers that so many Texans enjoy. Some are annuals that won't reseed if they are picked or trampled. Never trespass on private property, and don't damage or destroy rights of way, like digging up large clumps of flowers or driving into a field of wildflowers. Finally, remember that it is against the law to pick, cut, or destroy any plant life at Texas state parks, including bluebonnets. Wildflower season will be here soon. These treasures attract many visitors each year, and you can find them across the state. So get outside, be safe, and enjoy.
The annual Texas Book Festival took place this past weekend and brought together authors, booksellers, and readers. Matthew Collier checked it out.
26th Annual Texas Book Festival saw an estimated 50,000 people at the event. Booksellers and authors from Texas to Taiwan brought a variety of content.
We have something for everybody. That's our goal every year. We have a lot of adult programming, fiction, nonfiction, memoir, poetry, kind of everything you can think of.
Diversity was indeed a topic of discussion this year, as several panels focused on visibility for marginalized voices. Authors like E.R. Bills say the importance of diversity is more urgent than ever because of censorship and book bannings.
It's about voices, it's about enlightenment, it's about people being able to shed some of their maybe prejudices and maybe open their mind for different concepts or different experiences.
Large crowds came to see authors like Roxane Gay and Stacey Abrams speak on issues of representation, censorship, and more in literature.
Philosopher, and they can.
Also new this year, Spanish language programs like the Leamos Live reading event. Organizers say it's important because the majority of their attendees now identify as Latinx and Hispanic.
I love being a part of the conversations that happen and making sure that our books remain diverse
and that's something that we will always continue to fight for moving forward.
With 325 authors and 200 sessions in this year's schedule alone, organizers hope to continue diversifying the schedule for years to come. In downtown Austin, Matthew Collier, reporting Texas TV.
Jalapenos and queso, queso stuffed donuts, and kimchi queso were just some of the wild creations at Austin's annual Queso Festival. The sold-out event took place on Sunday at the Mohawk, and all proceeds went towards supporting the Central Texas Food Bank. Restaurants, chefs, and home cooks showcased their queso dishes to a panel of judges, including the editor of Austin Food Magazine.
Basically, we're raising money so we can supply Central Texans suffering from food insecurity with food. So all the proceeds from the event will be going to the food bank.
Tickets started at $20 and attendees were given a complimentary bag of H-E-B tortilla chips for all their sampling needs. Every ticket purchased equates to a 1 month's supply of food for 2 Central Texans.
The Central Texas Food Bank needs your help this holiday season. Volunteers are canceling their shifts at an unprecedented rate, leaving the food bank without enough workers during their busiest time of the year. There are lots of ways you can help. You could sign up through their website to work in the food pantry, kitchen, garden, or warehouse. If gifting is more your speed, all donations will be through the end of the year and will be matched up to $400,000.
You probably didn't use your sunglasses or umbrellas this morning. Stay tuned for the cool temperatures coming our way.
A student talent show is highlighting Black culture. We'll check out Culture Shock when we come back.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on. Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips and how to have the vape talk.
To be honest, I'm loving this cold weather. It's finally starting to feel like fall.
Right? It's nice not to break a sweat walking to class.
The weather has given me all the chance to wear all my sweater weather clothes. If you saw the fog this morning walking to class, it was not the best, but don't worry, the sunshine did come in throughout the day. Today hit a high of a cool 70 degrees, and tonight will go down to a brisk 54 degrees. The humidity today was around 77%, which explains why we saw so much mist this morning. Tomorrow you can expect a higher temperature of 79 and a low of 59 degrees. We may get a small chance of breeze with some winds between 3 to 9 miles per hour. Precipitation increases tomorrow at about 10% chance of rain, but we're expecting less cloudy skies than today. Later into this weekend and early into next week, the temperatures are going to drop. You can expect most nights to be cooler and linger around the 50s. On Saturday, the high will be 72 with a low of 57 degrees. If you're going to be heading back home this weekend for the holiday break, your drive will be cloudy leaving Austin. You may just need a light jacket for now, but keep the extra warm gear close as we go later into next week. There's a light chance of rain on Monday at 24% with cold, windy air behind it. The sky will clear up throughout the week, but expect to stay in the cooler temperatures while you're cooking turkey. But if you're like me, probably just eating the turkey. The low in Thanksgiving could be around the 40s. Since I'm going back to home to Houston for the break, I hope it's a little warmer because I'm going to be running the turkey trot for Thanksgiving morning.
That sounds so much fun. Coming up next, Cedar Ridge High School's football season came to an end, but a father and son special bond has not. Stick around for sports to hear their story.
Up next, our very own Madeline Lambert tells us all we need to know about UT women's basketball's winning streak.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Amber with this week's update on sports. It feels good to be a Longhorn after all the wins this week. Both men and women basketball teams have been on a hot streak this season. On Tuesday, the women's basketball team defeated UT Arlington 110-64. The team had 6 players score in double figures and are now 3-0.
Really pleased at how we played from a chemistry standpoint. I thought we made some steps tonight. Obviously, Booker ended the first half with a pretty sweet pass, and again, I'm excited that Tiana got to play extended minutes tonight. So
the Longhorns will play again this Sunday against Louisiana Tech at 1 p.m. here at the Moody Center. Last night, the men's basketball team defeated Rice 80-64 at the Moody Center. Texas is now 3-0. Junior guard Tyrese Hunter had a game-high 18 points, while sophomore forward Dylan Mitchell scored a career-best 13 rebounds. A transfer from Virginia, Caden Shedrick, tallied 15 points and 4 rebounds in 21 minutes.
I wouldn't say I'm satisfied with it. He had 5 assists. I mean, I didn't keep them all outside the three-point line. You got to do a little better at that. But I guess it wasn't bad, but there could definitely be improvement.
The men's basketball team will play again on Sunday against Louisville and New York at 2:30 p.m. UT women's soccer advanced to the second round in the NCAA tournament. This is also the second consecutive year the team has done this. Goalkeeper Mia Justice kept up the defense with not letting Lamar score. She's a freshman and was credited with her 9th clean sheet on the season. The Longhorns will play Wisconsin in the Division I Women's Championship tomorrow at 1 p.m. in Tallahassee, Florida. Texas high school football is all about the hype of the game, but it's also rooted in tradition and family. Manny Ramirez is live in the studio after going to Round Rock to watch some high school football. I saw more tears than cheers, Manny. Tell me about that. What was going on?
Yeah, that's right. The end of the season can be emotional for a lot of reasons. But for one local high school head coach, the end of this season means more. The Cedar Ridge Raiders played their last game of the season Friday night, and emotion poured when the clock hit 0. This game ended their 10-year streak of playoff appearances, and senior Baron Robinson, wore number 1, played in the safety position, and is the coach's son.
It didn't like we wanted, obviously. Didn't go like we wanted, but being a year that wouldn't trade for anything.
Coach Robinson will look towards next season, while Barron hopes to attend Texas Tech next fall. The duo had shared the relationship of coach and player for over 11 years, and as a fellow coach's kid, this story was personal to me. You can read more about this story on reportingtexas.com.
All about football. UT football had a nail-biting game this weekend against TCU and won 29-26. After missing the last 2 games, quarterback Quinn Edwards came back ready to play. He completed 22 of 33 passes for 317 yards and 1 touchdown. Running back Jonathan Brooks rushed for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brooks was escorted off the field after a season-ending ACL injury. During the second quarter, the Longhorns scored 13 points in under a minute.
As always, there's things to work on, but it sure feels good to be 9-1, and it's great to get a conference victory on the road against a good football team.
The Longhorns will take on Iowa State this Saturday at 7 p.m. in Ames, Iowa. Texas football has been stressing me out more than my final exams.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Well, thank you so much, Madeline. And coming up, Austin Fashion Week was in full swing this weekend. Stay tuned to see the collections that run the runway.
We'll take a look at the singing and dancing from a UT talent show that highlights Black culture.
Vaccines protect us all from serious disease, and I ask that you consider getting your family and your children vaccinated.
The COVID vaccines, including the updated booster doses, are safe, effective, and recommended for everyone 6 months and older.
It's an important way to protect our families, our healthcare workers, and our communities.
COVID patients are still in our hospitals, and many are very sick.
If you have questions, talk with your healthcare professional.
And if you haven't gotten vaccinated or boosted, please do.
Is it time yet? It's time. Let's go and chat for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Being the new face of Don't Mess with Texas comes with a lot of responsibility. I think I'm settling in quite nicely. Oh, thanks. Everybody loves me here.
I've worked here for so long, all my life. I can't wait to go home.
Yeah, this is the boss. Oh. No. Get rid of all the trash. Don't mess with Texas. I just want to help keep Texas clean. And maybe spice some things up around here.
Let's go the barrel. Let's go the...
I don't know how we can do this.
Daryl! Somebody give me Daryl the barrel, please.
I'll never litter, Joe. Don't mess with Texas. Means don't litter.
Many UT students came together at the Hogg Auditorium last week to express themselves in different ways.
The African American Culture Committee, otherwise known as AACC, held Culture Shock. It's an event aimed at promoting Black talent. Robert Gonslin is here with us live in the studio. Hi, Robert.
Hi, yeah. Last week I got to see the Hog Auditorium in full effect. Through a range of performing and literary arts, I got to see students come together and put on a fun show full of high energy and spirit. A goal that the AACC had in mind during the event: show newcomers what it represents. Culture shock is all about letting your emotions out, whether it's through singing, dancing, or any other art.
I feel like Culture Shock is it's an event that everybody can, release what they want to release.
Fakaimi Johnson is one of the organizers for the annual event that aims to engage students in Black culture.
The music that we had, the activities that we were doing, it was reminiscent of Black culture, but it was something where anybody could come on stage.
The idea is to encourage more cultural diversity on UT's campus, especially since Black students make up just 5% of the student population.
Mainly through spreading our image throughout campus, because we try to rep Black culture as much as possible.
Especially the type of acts that they bring on, it just elicits the opportunity to ask questions, to learn more.
The show's 5 acts included 2 singers, a rapper who reflected on his personal life, a poet, and a Christian singing group. The talent show incorporated many people in attendance. In between performances, the hosts invited audience members on stage to engage in some fun competitions like dancing and a game of Finish the Lyrics. The committee hopes to boost their membership by fostering a fun and inclusive environment.
We want to get people engaged as much as possible, even though we had talent. We're always just thinking of ways to include people in the show.
When it's not hosting events like Culture Shock, the AACC meets on Wednesdays from 5 to 6 at the William C. Powers Junior Student Activity Center. Live in the studio, Robert Gonslin, reporting Texas TV.
Austin Fashion Week hosted its 15th runway show at the Domain last weekend. AFW partnered with Austin Area Urban League to give scholarships to 10 Black designers. Nearly 60 designers in total showcased their collections. The week promoted independent and emerging local brands. I don't know about y'all, but this is my last class before fall break, before we get to have a break from school.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you plan to stay home in your room all weekend, I would recommend a change of plans with this fall weather, staying at about 70. The low tonight is 54 degrees, and prepare for colder temperatures as we go into next week. The exciting thing is, colder weather sets us in the perfect holiday spirit as we head to Thanksgiving break.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Reporting Texas TV.
If you'd like to check out any of our stories or our newscast, please visit reportingtexas.com. We'll see you next Thursday. Good night.